just want to begin by thanking the Rural Independents for allocating some of their time to me today. Bhui láthair tá 30 mhíle daoine gan dídean sa stáit seo. Tá sé solar go bhfuil an gcéircéim ag éirí I bhfad níos measa ná mar a bhí sé. Homelessness is becoming all too prevalent and is, to our shame in this state, becoming normalised. Homelessness is an issue not just confined to urban regions, and its prevalence is now very noticeable in many rural towns. In many towns of Laois and Offaly, such as Tullamore, Edenderry and Portlaoise, rent is costing up to €1,000 per month. This factor alone is driving families into homelessness every day of the week. Minister, I have upset and disillusioned people in desperate situations seeking accommodation in my offices every day of the week, and I want to point out that many of these people are people who are working part-time, people who have tried their best, to make ends meet, and they find themselves in this difficult situation. The local authorities in Laois and Offaly are doing their utmost to deal with this issue of homelessness, and I've seen that first-hand. But they are hampered in their efforts by insufficient funding from central government here. In Offaly, there are very few centres or hotels providing emergency accommodation for families who find themselves homeless and experiencing the trauma that goes with that homelessness. The Simon community and one local hotel provides such accommodation in Tullamore, and it's not sufficient to meet the numbers that are seeking emergency accommodation. However, these services become full very quickly, and then this leads to a situation where women and children have to travel to a hostel in Mullingar, while the men have to travel to County Longford for emergency accommodation. The separation of families and the break-up of the family unit can be traumatic, and I'm sure, Minister, you'd agree with that. I mean, it's like something that you'd hear of in famine times, where families were split up and they went to the workhouses. We're seeing the same echoes of that, and yet we're hearing this spin all of the time about a republic of opportunity, about fairness for all in society. That's not the case. The gap is widening all of the time, and it's because this government hasn't acted in time. I do accept that there has been some small improvements, but they're minimal, and you need to look at the rural towns, and I think all too often this problem of homelessness is seen as just an urban problem in our big cities. It's not. Far from it. And I would like some action in terms of ensuring that there's more emergency accommodation available in counties Laois and Offaly, where people don't have to leave their counties. I know of families who had to leave to go to hostels in Mullingar and had to uproot their children who were in schools in Tullamore and surrounding areas. I mean, that is so destructive. It's traumatic enough for children to be separated from their dads or the head in the family, whoever that may be, but it's just absolutely shameful that we have this situation. And we talk about mental health and all that's been done in mental health, and this situation is adding to that problem of mental health, and we're not getting to grips with that either. Minister, rents are increasing month on month in the main towns of counties that I've just mentioned, in Tullamore, Edenderry and Portlaoise. And the solution to this problem of spiralling rents needs to be looked at, and needs to be looked at urgently. I believe that the criteria for rent pressure zones must be broadened in order to ensure that towns where there are ongoing problems with rent increases outside of the main cities are catered for and assisted. This would be a lifeline to many tenants in rented accommodation. HAP is, as has been stated already, a short-term solution, a very short-term solution. I know of many cases in Offaly and Laois where people have to top up the HAP payment by hundreds. They have no choice. They're in a vulnerable situation, and in order to stay in their accommodation, they have to fork that out, and that sometimes is getting loans from family members, or worse, borrowing off money lenders, and that's what's happening. Minister, the Midlands region, as you may not know, has one of the lowest rates of income in this state. This surely must be taken into consideration in ensuring that our towns in Laois and Offaly are designated as rent pressure zones, and I'm calling on you to pursue that possibility in light of the ongoing homeless crisis and the shortage of social and affordable housing for families in Laois and Offaly. It must end, Minister. We need government intervention, and we need it fast.